The American heartland stirs diverse thoughts. To some, it represents hard work in wheat and corn. To others, it conjures images of cows grazing on green fields. A few even think of computers. Gatway, a leading PC brand from the 80s to the 2000s, embraced this tranquil slice for their computers and legacy. Many Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z fondly remember using these iconic PCs. It didn't start out from Stanford, Berkeley, or Ivy League grads wooing Silicon Valley investors into some cookie venture. Instead, it humbly begins with two Midwestern boys with a $1 million dream. Ted Waite from Sioux City, Iowa, had a strong business interest early on. He attended the University of Iowa but dropped out after 2 years in 1984. Returning to his childhood farmhouse, he lived with his parents and older brother, Norman Jr. Ted took a job at a computer store in Des Moines, while his family managed their cattle brokerage. His mentor, Mike Hammond, was an early computer technician and salesman. Initially, computers were status symbols for heavy industry, government, and large corporations. By the 80s, their use expanded to secretaries, retail, and police departments. The industry boomed, making rental home computers affordable for the middle and upper middle class.
It does all the things you'd expect a business computer to do.
When computers broke down, repairmen like Mike were the only good option. Ted worked computer retail for 9 months before starting his own business in 1985. He noticed a few niches. The upper and lower ends of the market went unserved. PC memory and speed didn't satisfy high-end users. Prices were too high for the low-end market. Additionally, phone sales for computers were underutilized, with most PCs sold in stores. Finally, rapid innovations meant that top-end PCs quickly became mid-range models. With Mike's support, Ted secured a $10,000 investment from his grandmother and the upper floor of the cattle brokerage from his father. Their plan was to resell second-hand computers via phone, focusing on underserved market niches. Thus, TIPC Network was born. They began by selling cheap, discontinued Texas Instruments 99.4A computers. Their revolutionary model bypassed middlemen, offering customizable solutions directly to customers at affordable prices. They also charged a $20 membership fee to cover overhead costs. Norm Jr. joined as a financial advisor for 50% equity. Within 4 months, revenue soared to $100,000. By 1986, the trio began experimenting with building and selling their own PCs in-house. Though small, the experiment showed promise in the local market. Their second-hand sales still dominated, contributing to a $1 million profit by year-end. Recognizing the depreciation of the 99.4A, they renamed the company Gateway 2000. Gateway's initial flagship product, the Gateway 2000 386 PC, featured an Intel 386 processor, offering significant computing power for its time. Initially, most sales remained in the Midwest. However, 2 major developments would soon change this trajectory. IBM's release of the IBM PC, Model 5150, shook the entire industry. At the same time, Texas Instruments introduced a buyback credit program for the 99.4A. Seizing this opportunity, Gateway doubled down on building their own PCs and began nationwide sales. Their newer models featured 2 floppy drives, color monitors, and competitive processing power. Design decisions were driven primarily by Ted's layman perspective, with Mike providing technical expertise and Norm ensuring financial sustainability. They believed that an average Joe's opinion would better guide the product's appeal to the broader market. 1988 saw their proceeds multiply to $12 million as a result. The trio moved out of the Wyatt Ranch to Sioux County's Livestock Exchange building, launching their first national ad campaign. This campaign was a roaring success, emphasizing their quality, all-American, corn-fed image and affordability. Light-hearted magazine and newspaper ads featuring cow-inspired packaging won over the public. By the end of 1989, company profits surpassed $70 million. Momentum continued into the 90s with another move, this time to North Sioux City, South Dakota. They hired corporate headhunters to recruit rival executives and established divisions for media, R&D, and branding. TED handpicked a 10-member action group to enhance decision-making. This consortium's efforts more than tripled the previous year's income to a staggering $275 million in 1990. In 1991, Gatway 2000 opened their first major factory and secured their first corporate contracts. Aware of their risky position, they went all in on customer service, offering corporate training, ample manuals, and a robust support system. They also publicized their quarterly reports to maintain an image of transparency and legitimacy, despite being privately traded. This approach led to sales tripling again to $626 million. 1992 brought successful forays into new markets, with laptops like the Handbook and Color Book becoming smash hits, especially in Japan. The Gateway 2000 Color Book, one of the first color notebooks on the market, set the stage for future innovations in portable computing. By the end of the year, Gateway crossed the $1 billion revenue mark. However, 1993 was a rocky year. Quality assurance issues in Q2 impacted sales, but new releases in Q3 and Q4 helped remedy the situation. Despite these challenges, Gateway went public in December 1993, and soon after, a second factory in Virginia went online. Gateway continued its expansion by opening offices and manufacturing facilities in countries like Ireland to serve the European market, and a factory in Malaysia to maintain a foothold in Asia. They utilized their increased earnings to acquire the Australian retailer Osborne. The company also diversified its product lineup to include servers, portable computers, and a range of peripherals and software. Notably, Gateway ventured into the burgeoning internet service provider space with Gatway.net, significantly boosting sales through their first webpage. This era marked Gateway's move beyond direct sales with the opening of Gateway Country Stores. These retail outlets allowed customers to experience Gateway's product lineup firsthand and receive in-person customer service, blending the benefits of direct sales with traditional retail for their new lines. The Gateway 2000 destination was a pioneering all-in-one PC entertainment system, combining PC functionality with TV capabilities. Featuring a large CRT monitor, it was marketed as a family entertainment center, ahead of its time. However, sales suffered, leading to heavy discounts. Despite setbacks, Gateway opened 140 Gateway Country Stores in 1997, where customers could experience their innovative designs firsthand. Expansions like these attracted competitors. Compaq attempted a buyout, but TED vetoed it. Conversely, TED oversaw the acquisitions of Amiga and Advanced Logic Research Incorporated. Before the 90s ended, Gateway dropped 2000 from its name and removed cows from its marketing. They relocated to La Jolla, California to tap into talent from UCLA and the Bay Area, including Jeff Wisen, formerly of AT&T, who became COO. Under their leadership, Gateway launched the Solo line of laptops, which were among the first to offer DVD drives and high-resolution screens, meeting the growing demand for multimedia capabilities. While their ISP division struggled against AOL, Gateway pre-installed both IE and Netscape Navigator on their PCs by 1998. Gateway.net suffered, leading the company to offer it for free with any purchase over $1,000. Before the millennium, Gateway sold their ISP to AOL in exchange for $800 million in stock. As the Y2K approached, millions worldwide panicked over the electronics market on the suspicion that the number 2 in the first digit of the year would cause most computers to fail and societal collapse to follow. Obviously, since you're watching this video, that didn't happen. What did happen before New Year's Eve was Ted Wyatt's resignation from Gateway. Jeff Wisen took over as CEO. Ted continued in an advisory capacity as chairman of the board. Jeff's first major decision was to sell off Amiga's assets to Amino Development. Amino paid for the rights to the Amiga name, while Gateway retained select assets from the former division. As the world didn't turn into a nuclear wasteland on January 1st, 2000, the new millennium would spell major changes to the tech world. Time Warner and AOL announced the largest merger in history. Computer and internet companies dominated Super Bowl ads. However, despite these developments, a recession in Japan, and speculation against the inflated internet market led to the dot-com bust. Overnight, industry giants fell, and the shockwave soon reached other sectors. Gateway was not immune. Wizen, expecting the worst, fired numerous managers and controversially partnered with QVC and Office Max to sell computers. Matters worsened when Dell started a price war during the crisis. Quarterly losses soared to almost $100 million, and stock prices plummeted. By the first quarter of 2001, Ted and other shareholders successfully removed Wizen and his team.
Hey, I'm here. Good. I just wanted to make sure that the new computers are ready to ship.
Wyatt returned as CEO, attempting to rehire those lost over the years. Prices regained competitiveness, and failed products like the touchpad were discontinued. Almost half the workforce had to be laid off as Ted tightened the company's belt. Factories in Ireland, Malaysia, and Northern California closed, and Poway, California became the new headquarters. By 2001, losses neared $1 billion. They attempted brand wars with Apple and TV manufacturers. The Profile series was Gateway's answer to the all-in-one desktop, emphasizing style and space-saving design. Their convertible notebook broke boundaries, influencing laptop designs to this day. In 2004, Gateway acquired emachines, known for its low-cost PCs, as part of a strategy to cut costs and streamline operations. While these moves garnered some sales, they didn't completely offset losses. Their plasma TV program also failed around this time. Gateway's foray into consumer electronics, including MP3 players, DVRs, PDAs, and digital cameras, aimed to diversify revenue, but they were met with limited success. Gradually, they retreated back to Sioux City before Wayne Inouye, former CEO of eMachines, took over as CEO, relegating Ted to chairman. Inouye accelerated layoffs, closing all retail stores and reducing the headcount to just under 1,800 employees. Unlike Apple, Microsoft, Toshiba, and Hewlett-Packard, Gateway couldn't withstand the dot-com bubble's impact. In 2007, Gateway was acquired by Acer Incorporated, a Taiwan-based computer hardware and electronics company, for $710 million. Their servers and support were sold to MPC Corporation. This acquisition marked the end of Gateway as an independent entity, but not the end of the Gateway brand. Acer leveraged the Gateway brand in the US to sell a range of PCs until 2013. In 2020, Gateway made a minor comeback. Acer, capitalizing on the budget American PC market and millennial nostalgia, contracted mainland manufacturer Beamorn Technology to produce laptops under the Gateway brand, sold exclusively at Walmart. Ted Wyatt moved on from the tech world, investing in nonprofits addressing causes like domestic violence and biology, and starting his own venture capital firm. Although he dropped off the Forbes 400, he still maintains his fortune to this day. Though it may not be the ending the founders envisioned for Gateway, it may be the most comforting. The brand lives on to provide excellent computing to buyers of all strata. Perhaps its memory will survive till the cows come home.